In today's video, I will show you how I made the mattress, the fitted sheet, the bed skirt, the pillows and pillowcases, and how I made the decorative throw pillow. To dress this antique bed for the DollHouse master bedroom, I folded a piece of paper to help me find the size the mattress needed to be for my template, then cut 2 pieces of foam core to give the mattress the thickness that I wanted. I use foam core to back artwork when I place artwork in frames or under mat boards, so I always have lots of scrap pieces laying around. I used my mat cutter to cut the foam core because it helps me to make a straight cut. I had my blade on the longest length, but it didn't cut all the way through, so I used my craft knife to finish it off. Test fit. I like to double check everything. I cut 2 pieces the same size from package wrapping, which is a thin foam material, as the top cushion for the mattress. I always save packaging materials because you never know when you may need it for something. I glued the 2 layers of foam core together. My glue is running low, so I use a long skinny dowel to reach the bottom of my bottle. I call this stick my gluing stick. I'm using tacky glue, which happens to be my favorite choice for glue for just about everything. It's an all-purpose glue, great for crafting. The 2 layers of foam are glued on top to make a slightly softer top to the mattress. This gives me the thickness that I desire for my mattress. Again, I test fit to make sure it is what I want it to be. Yes, it fits perfect, and it rises just above the sideboards as I wanted. Now for the fitted sheet. I cut the fabric 7 inch by 9 inch. I make sure the fabric margin is 1.5 inches larger on all sides of my mattress, so that it will be long and wide enough to wrap around the sides of the thick mattress. But before gluing anything, I trim a little bit off each corner so we have less bulk on the corners. I place the cushion side down on the wrong side of the fabric. I do not put any glue on the top side. The glue will be applied to the sides and bottom only. I glue each corner first. This is how I deal with the sides. Observe how I use my stick to apply the glue to the underside. I glue it down the sides and flatten the flap before bringing it all the way to the back or the underside of the mattress. I'm using a white-on-white calico print design from my sheet. I know you probably can't see the print design in the camera. It could be done with a plain white fabric as well. I think in the old days they didn't have all the colors of sheets that we do today, so white is good for old-fashioned because this room is old-fashioned. I like to work on opposite sides first, so I did the top and then the bottom. Next I will do the 2 sides. The process is the same for each side. All the raw edges will end up on the underside of the mattress where nobody will see them. This is going to be a permanent fitted sheet, not to be removed. I try to make the sides and underside as flat as I can make it. There, we have our fitted sheet. Here you get a quick glimpse of the pattern fabric. Test fit. Fits perfectly. Now I want to add a lace bed skirt. I cut 2 lengths slightly longer than the sides of the bed because I want it to have a bit of a ruffle look. Here I am figuring out how I'm going to attach it. The lace is 2-inch wide flat lace. I realized that the mattress sits down inside the frame, so the lace will come up and over the top of the sideboards. I decided to attach the lace to the very bottom of the mattress, and then it will work out to be the finished length that I desire. It was a bit of a challenge to gather and glue the lace down, so I grabbed a piece of bias tape because it's flat and thin. I used pins to help hold it in place while the glue set. Make sure you're looking at the wrong side so that when it's finished you will have the right side on the top side when it's in place. I also used mini clips to add a hem on each end of the lace. It could have been sewn, but my fingers were already covered with glue, so I didn't want to run to the sewing machine at this point. The clips worked for me. On the second piece, I glued the 2 ends first, which made it a little bit easier. While I wait for the glue to set on the bed skirt, I decided to work on the decorative throw pillow. I had a scrap of lace, which I overlaid on the orange fabric. I had cut the throw pillow 3" by 3.5" fabric, but it should have been a bit smaller. My thought was, I wanted the orange fabric, but I didn't want it to be so dark. So adding the lace on top softened the color. I only put the lace on the front side. With the right sides together, I sewed all the way around, leaving a small opening for stuffing. Clip the corners before turning right side out. Then I realized, oh, my pillow is a mite too big. Oh, that's okay, because I have an idea. I want it to have a lace ruffle all around the edge. It was such a small project, I did not want to sew it on between the seam, as it would have been difficult to do. I'll just add it on top. And the stitch that will go all the way around to hold it will make the pillow a bit smaller and give it sort of a different ruffle lace. I'll have like two sides of the ruffle, the short side and the long side. I did accidentally catch a bit of the lace on the back side. No problem. I just pulled those couple of stitches out with a seam ripper and restitched that portion of the lace. Before completing the ruffle, I stuff the pillow, little bits at a time. I keep a short stick for this purpose, for stuffing small things where fingers are too fat. The stick also helps me to push a small bit of stuffing into the corners where needed. I use the flat end to push the stuffing into the pillow because I don't want to poke a hole through it with the pointed end. I made 2 solid colored orange pillowcases to repeat the orange color that is in the throw pillow. I knew that these pillows would be on the back side against the headboard and will have other pillows in front of them, so they will only have a bit of the color peeking out, which will be a nice accent color to the room and it's not too overpowering. The calico print of the bedspread has a slightly peachy color. The wallpaper stripes on the back of the room have a slight orange tint to them. This is why I wanted to bring orange into the room. I plan to make a blue bedside lamp to put on the nightstand because blue is the complementary color to orange, and the wallpaper behind the headboard has little blue flowers, so we must have a little bit of blue in the room. It is never a good idea to have equal amounts of complementary colors together because it would make for a very busy exercise for the eye. Peaches and oranges are the dominant colors of this room, so a tiny bit of blue will add a nice touch to pull it all together. Once the pillow is stuffed enough, I finish pinning the ruffle on. I'm not showing how I made the quilt or the bedspread in this video because I basically followed the same method as what I did for the 2 canopy beds. I just made it a little bit bigger to fit the bed. So if you want to see that, you can go to my other video about the 2 canopy beds for the girls' bedroom. One last touch to the decorative throw pillow. With my small scissors, I cut a flower from the leftover piece of lace that was used on the bed skirt. It is always a good idea to repeat an element. It helps to bring the set all together. I hand stitched the flower to the face of the pillow. Now the glue is set on the skirt. I remove the pins. I know it looks kind of weird at the moment, but hang on. I applied glue to the underside of the mattress to glue it down to the slat boards of the bed. This bed frame has a slight gap on both sides of the mattress, as I wanted it to have. You can see how the lace sticks up in a strange way. Don't worry, I will fix it. I applied glue to the top edge and the sides of the sideboards to glue the lace so that it will hang down, as it should. It did not want to hang down because tacky glue takes a little time to set. So I found a rubber band that would stretch around the bed frame, holding the lace in the position that I wanted it while I wait for the glue to set. I set that aside to wait for the glue to dry. My attention now goes to making pillows and pillowcases. The pillows are cut 2" by 4", which could have been a little shorter. I might have made the bed more narrow because of the space that it was fitting in. It probably should be a little bit wider, but oh well. So my pillow should have been a little shorter. The pillowcases are cut from 2.5" by 5". I sew both the pillows and the pillowcases the same way, folding over the edge that will be the open side of the pillowcase, or the open side where I stuff the pillowcase. Having that pre-folded makes it so much easier to sew the two sides together. I used the blind stitch to hand sew up the pillows. I don't know that I showed that in this video, but I did show that in the canopy pillows. So you can go to that video for that. I made pillow shams for the 2 front pillows with a slot on the back side. The front side has the same print as the sheet, again repeating a pattern. That was all the fabric I had left of that print. Anyway, so the back side of the pillow shams are just plain solid white. With the pillow shams, I did sew for the same ruffle that I put on the accent pillow, the throw pillow. I put the fabric right sides together with the lace pointed towards the inside. So when you flip it out, it'll be pointed to the outside. You have to add extra lace on the corners so it will turn right. And you have to be really careful when you're sewing those seams that you don't catch those corner pieces. And it's a little bit complicated, especially with a really small project. This room has turned out just as I envisioned as it should be. The instructions for how the bed and nightstand were made are posted for members only. I have a couple more things to add to complete this room. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.